Good afternoon and good evening to you all. Welcome to the first edition of the week of the Full 100. Today is Monday the 19th of April, and today we're going to be dealing with the closing speeches of the George Floyd trial, which is going on right now. The prosecution made their closing speech earlier. I'm actually watching the screen right now, and the defense talking his fraff and talking his nonsense, defending the police officer. So we're going to touch on that a little bit, and we're also going to touch on the update on Daunte Wright, who was killed, the 20-year-old who was killed last week. Guys, before I get into it, I apologize for not uploading a video on Friday. It was a good friend's birthday party, so I didn't have time to get a video done, as I was accidentally ended up over there and ended up staying longer than I should have stayed. Guys, let's get down to today's issues and deal with today's video. So without further ado, let's get down to it. Now, the first video I want to air is just a quick roundup of that situation. There's not a lot to talk about on that particular video. I've got 4 videos to air with you guys, and we'll go into it as we play the videos. So guys, let me start with the first video, which is a roundup of the situation with Minneapolis, where this incident happened, as well as the other officer, Officer Potter, the lady police officer of 26 years service in the police force, who can't tell the difference between a taser and a handgun. So guys, take a look at my first video, and I'll see you guys on the other side.
The ex-police officer who shot and killed Daunte Wright was in court for the first time today. Kim Potter did not enter a plea to the second-degree manslaughter charge against her. After 4 nights of protests over Wright's death, the city of Brooklyn Center is anticipating more anger on the streets tonight. Wright's mother is speaking out, demanding accountability and sharing her anguish over having to bury her son. Also tonight, police in Minneapolis and across the U.S., for that matter, are tightening security, preparing for potential unrest as the Derek Chauvin murder trial gets closer to a potential verdict. Today, Chauvin declined to testify in his own defense about the death of George Floyd before both sides rested their cases. Closing arguments are now set for Monday.
Welcome back, guys. That was a quick roundup. Now I want to go to the video of basically describing the charges and the situation with this Officer Potter lady. And again, the video after this one will explain the problem that any right-thinking person would have with this lady. And I'll tell you this, it turns out she was actually training a rookie officer on the day. That was exactly what this Officer Chauvin, who's on trial right now, was doing on the day he killed George Floyd. And I believe that this is the problem with our police force. Right across, and that happens here as well. When you get old, infested, cancerous officers training newly brought in officers, you have the same prejudices, the same racism, the same way of treating people being handed down generation of officer after generation of officer. It's not a coincidence that Chauvin was training 2 cops when he did this. Why did he do that? He was trying to show them this is what we do to black people on our streets. Come, let me show you what we do. It turns out this Officer Potter, she was doing exactly the same thing. Take a look at this video.
Yeah, so police have added a lot of security around the police department here in Brooklyn Center. Protesters are beginning to show up. All of this as the entire Wright family gathered in a call for justice.
My brother and my sister need this woman to be convicted.
Daunte Wright's aunt, Naisha, calling for the conviction of former Brooklyn Center police officer Kim Potter, who had her initial hearing today on a single charge of second-degree manslaughter.
Can we get something? Manslaughter?
Ben Crump, the lawyer for Daunte Wright's family, says the 20-year-old father should never have been pulled over to begin with, should never have been threatened with a taser, and doesn't believe that former Officer Potter, a 26-year veteran of the force, could mistake a handgun for a taser.
They come up with a way to justify over and over again the killing of black people in America.
Welcome back, guys. Right, now, as I said, I'm not any, when this lady goes on trial, when this ex-police officer woman goes on trial, the question the jury need to be considering when you see this video, when you see the fact that she's shouting taser, taser, taser with her hands stretched out. Now, her body cam can see the gun. She can see the gun, but she's shouting taser. She's got her right hand up, shouting taser with steel, dark grey steel, heavy, like a gun would be heavy, in her hand. When tasers are probably 1/4, if not more or less, 1/4 the weight of a gun, right? So, guys, this is the problem. The jury, if they try and clear this lady at the trial, there will be uproar, which there might be uproar coming in a minute. But watching this trial, watching the Chauvin trial for the George Floyd murder, I don't see how a jury cannot convict this guy. A quick update: this Potter was initially charged with involuntary manslaughter. She's now being charged with, I think, 3rd-degree murder, which is the same charge that this Chauvin is on. So take a look at this video real quick, and I'll see you guys on the other side.
The glaring question, though, Wolf, and this is why I understand the voluntary manslaughter or involuntary manslaughter charge, excuse me. I understand it because of her tears. I understand it because she yelled taser, taser, taser. But it doesn't sit right with me. It doesn't sit right with my spirit to phrase something we say down south. It just doesn't, because how do you confuse a taser with a gun on opposite sides, different colors and different weight? That's a question that has to be answered.
We're on to my last video now. I reserved the last for the family of this young man who passed away, who was killed. My thing is, anyone who watches this, because this is the internet, so you're going to get all sorts of people comment, and I've been doing these now for over a year now, and it still does not it still surprises me, the diehard behavior and mental state of some people when it comes to black folk being slain by police officers. It really, really gets me. I mean, these are the same people that if I knelt on a dog's neck for 3 minutes will come running at me and want to push me off. But kneel on a man, a human being's neck for 9.5 minutes, and they still want to tell you, well, he was on drugs. Well, he just passed a fake $20 note. Well, he was a bad dude anyway. Well, he had criminal records. Anyone who sees this video I'm going to show now, listen to his sister, listen to his dad, listen to the hope that they had for this kid, listen to his mother. I urge you, take a look at this.
Wright's family says that Kim Potter was charged quickly is a step forward, but will never be enough.
Unfortunately, there's never going to be justice for us. The justice would bring our son home to us, knocking on the door with his big smile, coming in the house.
Daunte Wright's father says his son's life was only beginning to take shape.
My son was a good young man. He was a young man in the making. We were building my son up to be somebody. He was gonna be somebody.
Speaking at the church where their son will be eulogized next week, speaking just before going to the funeral home to see their son's body for the first time since he was killed, his 14-year-old sister speaking about her brother.
My brother, he was the most delightful person I've ever met. Like, he was everything.
Welcome back, guys. We're now at the end of the show, guys. It's really sad. I mean, we need to do something. The world just needs to change. It really needs to change. And I think one of the biggest changes is seeing police officers like that officer Potter. She was charged within hours, literally. It was hours that she was charged. She was stripped of her police status and she was in an orange jumpsuit. That's how it should be. That's how it should be. I mean, when police officers start seeing their colleagues get taken right off the street and straight to prison, and then they see the trial proceed like any normal trial, like anybody who was on that charge would have got found guilty because everything was on video evidence, I think that's when they start to change their behavior. When they see their colleagues getting off, nothing ever changes because they just think they can do this with impunity. So guys, I'm gonna go back to watching the closing remarks by this defense lawyer, and I'll be back on Wednesday to give you guys a roundup. Fingers crossed they've come back with a verdict by Wednesday. If not, the jury have been told to pack their bags, so the jury are ready to stay over. They're gonna get sequestered, and they're gonna have to stay until a verdict is declared. So let's hope it's a positive one. Let's hope it's a guilty verdict for Mr. Chauvin, and let's hope he faces a long life in jail. And this will be the turning point to police officers getting away with murder on the streets of all of our countries, really. So guys, remember to hit subscribe, remember to share, and remember to like as well, and interact. Let me know what you think. Let me have your thoughts. Many of you do comment. I look forward to your comments. In the meantime, guys, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you all on Wednesday. All the best. Take care. Bye-bye.